Welcome to Writing 1 with David Courtney. Today is March 3rd, 2020. Today I will review AZAR Chapter 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. And that is the present simple, present progressive, verb tenses, and frequency adverbs. Okay. So why are we here today? Well, we have three main objectives. This is the third day of online classes, so I hope that everyone is able to get to Edpuzzle, Moodle, and is able to access the Google Drive. So today we have three objectives. We will review the meaning, keywords, and rules for present simple, present progressive, and frequency adverbs. You will learn a code for fixing errors in your sentences from the homework that you wrote, and you will use a code and your knowledge to fix your writing from the homework. Okay, so sometimes I give you practice to write, and then I will give you chances to go back and fix your writing. Okay, that's part of level 1 writing. All right, so for this lesson, you need your notebook. So get 100-page notebook, and the first part of your notebook is the grammar section. Okay, and in the grammar section, you will begin your notes. It should say March 3rd, 2020. Okay, the second part of your writing notebook is your practice section. So both of these, number 1 and number 2, do these by yourself each week, and I will check them when you get back. Okay. So you need your notebook, and I will you can pause the video to get your notebook ready. All right. So in your practice notebook, I want you to copy this table in your notes. Okay, you're going to read a paragraph, and I want you to write the present simple verbs, the present progressive verbs, the frequency adverbs, and other adverbs. Okay, so copy this table in your notes. You can pause the video. Okay, and you can see this on the Google Doc also. Okay. All right, so the reading, here it is. You can pause the video if you like, and I want you to write the words into the table. So first it said present simple verbs. So here, my name is David. So what's the verb here in this sentence? Is. Okay, so I write is in my table. The next sentence, I am a teacher. Okay. Where's the verb? Am. Okay, I write am in the table. All right. And is it present? What's the verb tense? Present simple or progressive? Oh, present simple. Okay, I put it in present simple. Good. All right. So do that by yourself, and then I will give you the answer key. Okay. So here are the questions that I want you to answer. You're writing these on your paper, okay? So here's the table. You can pause the reading and write it into your notes. You can pause it now. Okay, to check your work, let's circle the present simple verbs that we see, and I'm going to share, we can share how do we know that it's present simple, okay? So here's our paragraph again, and I'm going to circle the present simple verbs. How did you get the same ones? Here you go. Okay, so these are the circled answers. These are the verbs. And so, for example, how do I know that is present simple, and how am I using it? What kind of information do I see? Well, one by one, I take each sentence and I look for why is this used. So my name is David. So this is describing me. We said last week when you share facts about people and things, or you describe people and things, we can use present simple, okay? I am a teacher. The same thing, it's a fact. It's talking about describing the person and their job, their profession, okay? Here's another sentence. I teach every week. I teach from Sunday to Thursday, all right? So why do I use teach here? Why don't I say I am teaching? Well, key words that I see or key information is every week. So this is a habit, a routine. So that's another meaning of present simple, right? So I use that as an adverb, and that describes the frequency, but it's not, it's just describing the routine and how often that we do the action, okay? So same thing with the next sentence, AUIS is an English-speaking university. Is that true? Yeah, it's true, it's a fact. Will it change? Will it change to a French-speaking university? No. So it's a fact, it describes it, present simple. All right. So how do we know? These are the information. This is the information that you get when you're using present simple. I want to know things like my name, my job, my routine actions or my habits. I described the university. Okay, I described the class. How does the class feel? Today the class is active. Okay, so that's, again, adjectives. So when I use adjectives, I describe something. I can use present simple, and I'm using verb be in this case. Okay. So how about present progressive? Where do you see present progressive, and why is present progressive used there? So in the paragraph, again, I have present progressive verbs. Here they are. And we have a lot of different, well, just three examples, okay? And the reason I'm wanting to use it, in this case, many students are studying English because they want to be engineers, lawyers, okay? If I say they are studying, it means they started to study in the past, before now. They are continuing, they are studying, they continue to study now, and they will finish their activity in the future. So you can use present progressive when an action is in progress, happening now, okay? But this is for a long period of time, right? So it doesn't have to be an action that's a short action. It could be an action, the action of studying, maybe it started 1 year ago and it will continue for 2 more years. Okay, so that's one example. Another example, right now, 30 students are silently reading this paragraph. So why do I use present progressive? Because I want to focus on the action is happening right now. So the key word here, right now, okay? And another example, we are thinking about the coronavirus. So this is also right now, but I don't have to put the word right now every time. Natural speaking and writing, we don't always use these keywords, but they are helpful sometimes when you want to make the point, you want to say it in a stronger way, okay? All right, so these are the verbs that we saw, and answer key is coming to your table, the table that you wrote in your notebook. So here is the answer key. You can pause if you are not finished. Okay, here are the verbs that we saw. So frequency adverbs we saw usually, and we saw other adverbs like every, right now, silently, today, in general, very. So these words help you understand more detail about these actions, right? So this week you learned the vocabulary in general, and in the paragraph it says, in general, we are very busy people. This means usually, or most of the students. We have 30 students, maybe 25 are very, very, very busy people. So in general means approximately, like we learned the word approximately. Most of the students are busy, okay? So these are adverbs that you can use. In general is a phrase at the beginning of a sentence, okay? When you're talking about a group and you want to describe a group, you could say, in general, the students are happy, okay? All right, so you can write this in your grammar notebook. We did this last week, so if you missed it, here is the present simple. On your paper, you can write present simple, meaning, keywords, rules, and I'm missing something. Example sentence, okay? That should be in there, okay? And the same thing for present progressive, meaning, keywords, rules, and example sentence, okay? So this should go in your grammar notebook. All right, so my notebook looks like this. I put present simple, we talked about the meaning of it. Do you remember? What's the meaning of present simple? So tell yourself, what is it? What are the key words of present simple? What are the rules? What's an example sentence? So do that by yourself, and then I'll share my answers. Do the same thing for present progressive, the meaning, keywords, any rules, example sentences. Put that in your notebook. Pause it, pause the video, and then you can check the answers. Okay, so present simple, I have habits, facts. Keywords are frequency adverbs like usually, seldom, okay? And the rules, we use, if it's a singular subject, we put S after the verb, like he goes to the store. She goes shopping. But with I, you, we, they, we don't do that. We say I go, you go, we go, they go shopping, okay? Negative, we use helper verb do, so do not rather. So she does not, I do not, okay? And then if you are describing someone, you're going to use verb be instead of action verb. So verb be, you could say, I am late. She is late. You are not late. Okay, so we see that we can use habits, routines, actions, we're going to use action verbs. If you're describing someone or their name or their location, where are they, then you can use verb be, okay? For present progressive, actions happening now, that's the meaning. Keywords, right now. And our rules are here. So this is what we did last week, okay? All right. Here are some example sentences. I want you to write your own sentence though, okay? So these are present simple, and these are present progressive. Okay, this is review. All right, so AZAR, I want you to do exercises 7, 10, 11, 15, and 16, okay? So one more thing for this lesson, we're going to look at frequency adverbs. So in this picture, what do you see? What can you describe the people? What actions are happening right now? So how many sentences in your practice notebook? How many sentences can you write about this picture in 5 minutes? What do you see? What is happening right now? Okay, so you can pause the presentation and write your sentences. After 5 minutes, I'll give, you can check the answers in the PowerPoint, okay? Okay, here are my answers. So I'm describing it. I'm describing actions right now, like the woman is reading the paper, okay? The girl is playing on the floor. All right? So these are different actions that are happening right now, but also I can describe the place, like the kitchen is small, right? The family eats breakfast together every day. All right? So these are different ways to describe the people and the things in the photo, as well as actions happening right now. Okay? So another example, in Vietnam, can you write 3 sentences to describe the people or things in the photo? And 3 actions happening right now in the photo? Okay, so here's the photo. In your practice notebook, I want you to write 6 sentences about this photo using present simple and present progressive. Okay. All right, so for frequency adverbs, in your practice notebook, can you put the frequency adverbs in order from most frequent to least frequent? Okay. So in your notebook, write this arrow, and these are the choices. So the most frequent at the top and the least frequent at the bottom, okay? When you're talking about frequency adverbs, I'm talking about routines, habits, and how often do you do these actions, okay? So here's the answer key. So pause the video so you can write in your notebook. Here are the answers. All right, so we can compare these 2 sentences about, actually first, we're gonna skip, and in your notebook, you have your, you already wrote these adverbs. Next, I want you to copy on your paper, copy this table, okay, for frequency adverbs. You will write a complete sentence, on the table, use your paper, copy the schedule, write one thing, one verb that you do in the morning and in the afternoon. Okay, so write in your schedule what is something that you do different days of the week. You can repeat if you want. For example, I teach English at 9 a.m. I do that on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I can put that in more than one time, okay? I can repeat some actions, but think of different activities for yourself, okay? Do that first. You can pause the video. All right, now I want you to write on that paper in your practice notebook, write a complete sentence to answer each question about your routine. Okay, so these are the questions. What do you usually do on Monday mornings? So write a full answer for yourself, about yourself. Number 2, what don't you ever do in the morning? Okay. Number 3, where are you at 8 a.m. every Saturday usually? All right. And number 4, do you eat lunch away from campus? When? Okay. So you can write one full sentence to answer each of the 4 questions on your practice notebook. Okay. All right. So let's look at the rules for frequency adverbs. So we will compare these 2 sentences, and I want you to notice, where does the adverb go? If you have an action verb, if you have verb be, or if it's a negative helping verb in the sentence, okay? So here are 2 sentences in your practice notebook. Can you find the subject, the helping verb, adverb, and main verb, okay? Now, you might not have a helping verb. Sometimes you don't have it. So so you can pause here, copy these 2 sentences in your practice notebook, and I want you to write, subject S, helping verb HV, adverb ADV, and main verb VM. Okay. You can label the 2 sentences. I'll pause and then I'll share the answers. Okay, here are the answers. I don't usually eat breakfast. Okay, there's the adverb. All right. We have a negative helping verb, then adverb, and then main verb. What's the main verb of this sentence? Eat. That's right. So, all right, the next sentence, I usually eat breakfast. What's the subject? I. Is there a helping verb? Nope, no helping verb here. It's a statement. It's a positive sentence with an action verb. What's the main action verb? What's the verb? Eat. Good. And the adverb? Usually. All right. So the rule looks like subject plus adverb plus main verb. So we put the adverb before the main verb. And here we also put the adverb before the main verb. Ah, okay. What about the next? These are 2 more sentences. Put them in your notebook, your practice notebook, and I want you to write, where is the subject? Is there a helping verb? HV, or yeah, HV, adverb, ADV, and the main verb is VM, okay? So pause the video, you can do it, and then check the answers. Here are the answers. So, my roommate is always home in the evening, okay? What's the subject here? My roommate, all right? Where's the adverb? Always, all right? So, what's the verb in this sentence? Only one verb, is. So that's verb be. All right, so subject, my roommate, verb is verb be, and then I don't have another verb. So verb be is my main verb. And I can see the adverb is after the verb be. Okay. Next, my friend isn't ever home in the evening. So subject, my friend. Verb is not. Okay, isn't. So is not means the same thing as isn't, right? As a contraction. So I can take away is not because it's easier to say isn't. Okay? Is not ever home. So again, remember, not ever equals never. But I can't say I can't say isn't never, because can we do a helper verb with a negative helper verb and a negative adverb? Nope. We have to use one positive form with one negative form, okay? So we learned that a little bit last week, but you can say isn't ever. You could say my friend is never, but you can't say isn't never, okay? Good. So with negative verb be, we put the adverb after verb be, okay? So rules, matching. What if you have verb be? What if you have negative verb be? What if you have a negative helping verb with a main action verb? And what if you have a positive action verb? Can you match the four different verb types here with the rule? Okay, so I'll pause the PowerPoint and you can match. Okay. So here are the answers. So if you have a main verb, you put the adverb before the main verb. You do it with a positive verb, and you can do it with a negative helping verb. The adverb goes before the main verb here, and the adverb goes before a positive main verb here. Okay. So, all right. And then if you have verb be, you put the adverb after verb be. Negative verb be, same thing. Put the adverb after negative be. Be careful with, you can't use two negatives. I can't say I am not never home. Not possible. I can say I am never home or I'm not ever home. Good. Okay. So there we go. Those are the rules. And can you write an example sentence? Here's an example of the rules, and you can write in your practice notebook, write your own sentences for these four rules. Okay. All right. So you can pause the lecture now and do that. Okay. So check. In your grammar notebook, you should do this for frequency adverbs. You wrote the adverbs. You did three things with frequency adverbs. You wrote them like this, and you made a table with your schedule. You answered these questions with your schedule, and you copied the rules and wrote example sentences. So these are all in your practice notebook. You don't have to write that in your grammar notebook. You can choose. You can do one or the other. Okay, no problem. All right, so self-check now. Copy this in your practice notebook. So 5 means you are very, very comfortable now with this. 1 means you are not comfortable. So for present simple and present progressive, I can write the rules. So if you agree, you put 5. I know the meaning. If you know the meaning really, really well, you can put 5 or 4. Okay. If you're not sure, you can put 3. I can read for keywords around the grammar to use it correctly. Okay. If you know keywords about these verb tenses, then you can give yourself 5. If you don't know, you're not sure, you could put 2, or if you need help, put 1. All right. So what score would you give yourself? Write me an email if you are below 3 about any of these grammar points, okay? And I'll give you more practice. Okay. So that's it for present simple, present progressive, and frequency adverbs. Your practice, your homework for this is to do AZAR. I'm going to type it here for you. AZAR exercise 7, 10, 11, 15, and 16. We did most of this in class, but this is a chance for you to do this again and make sure that it's finished, and I will check your book when you get back, okay? So good luck, and if you have any questions, you can email me. Thank you very much.